text that you had saying he's waiting to do his thing, but I think we up live.
Yeah, so he's really. Oh, are we?
Oh, we're good. Oh, I just started it just to start it. We're all good.
Yeah,
I'll chop it up anyways.
Yeah, he's really good, man.
Chop it up, chop it up. All right, we are back at it again with another edition of the BCS After Hours show. Got the fellas in that chat. How we feeling tonight, fellas? Thursday, big games coming up this Sunday.
Thirsty Thursday.
Big games.
So
Big
thirsty.
Big games coming up. Some new insight in the NFL right now. We got some new coaches. Obviously, one of the biggest stories right now is Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers. Are we liking that? Are we disliking that?
I like it. I like it. I think he'll be a good fit for Justin Herbert. I mean, throughout the dude's career, he's developed. He's just been a quarterback developer. I mean, what he did with Colin Kaepernick, did good with Alex Smith, managed to win a championship with, J.J. McCarthy over there. He was a quarterback himself. I think this will be perfect for at least Justin Herbert's progression. He hasn't gone over that hump that people want him to go over. So I think Jim Harbaugh would be a perfect fit for down over there in LA. He played for the Chargers. He's already coached in California. And I think coming off a national championship, he really don't have much to – I mean, Chargers are desperate for a coach, so he kind of got the keys to the whole franchise. So, I mean, I like the fit for him. He got some good offense. Mike Evans, Austin Eckler. I don't know if they keep Eckler. I'm not sure what that contract situation is, but I know he'll figure it out. He's a good coach overall. No matter everywhere he's went, he's won. So
yeah, they got weapons over there. They got players that they can utilize. Let's see what they can now do with an offensive head coach and a winning head coach. Be interesting to see.
Yeah, like what was it, Tuesday, Monday, Wick came up. The only other thing I like to see better was if he went to Buffalo, but I don't think Buffalo's making any moves. I think it was a done deal as soon as the Chargers fired their coach. He wasn't coming back to Michigan. That's just my take. You're losing 44 starters. There's still more investigations coming.
Yeah, the NCAA stuff.
You're never going to be more hotter than you are now. And then in the NFL, who's a better team? Who's a better quarterback?
It's as good as
right. If you're a coach, you want to hitch your wagon to a quarterback. They could say there was, Atlanta and these other places he's talking, but where's the top quarterback?
Yeah, I agree. I agree, E, because even if you draft in Atlanta, right, or you trade out, like that's a project. I think Herbert. Yeah. If you remember, the hand was injured early this season. I think Staley was stale. Herbert, with that hand injury, I just don't ever think he got up and running. That defense there's a lot of holes there, But I think two things with Harbaugh: quarterback developer, but a physical, tough team. He's like a more polished Dan Campbell. Like, he's going to be physical. Every team he's played for, he's made them physical. You're playing a Harbaugh-led team, so I like the move. I don't like the move that they're in LA and they're basically the playing in the same stadium as the Rams, being the Clippers, but. He's going to make them relevant for sure. There's a lot of people out in San Diego, been out, had a couple beverages earlier. A lot of excitement out there with Harbaugh. I mean, immediately they were like, I think we're relevant again.
Yeah, for the Chargers, you had to make a move, right? Because just that you share a house with the Rams, and you're in LA. That you just can't get by with a Brandon Staley. That's not putting butts in the seat. That's not LA. That's not. It's going to be interesting now, right, to see who's leading that house, who's running things.
So here's the crazy thing about that, too, is like the Rams are in L.A. There's a bunch of distractions, right? The Chargers, nobody in L.A. has really adopted them other than they're San Diego-based and ventured out that way, right? But what you have is these people in San Diego are passionate about that team still. Some of them are hurt. They got hurt feelings, but they're still repping the jerseys. They still consider them San Diego Chargers. They're upset that they left. They're super upset with the ownership, the city not making it happen. So it'll be interesting to see, because I think, really, man, if people start following the Chargers in LA, they already have San Diego on lock. They're going to have a Southern California fan base that's going to expand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so LA's got a bunch of distractions. I'm a big Dodger fan. You go to the games, the behind the backstop, those seats are empty until the second, third inning, because you get there late, you leave early. That's just an LA thing to do. I don't agree with it, but what have you. But I think if they can be competitive, and let's be honest, man, you got Patrick Mahomes in that division. The Broncos, we don't know where they're going. The Raiders, they're dysfunctional. We'll see what they can do, but I think they're going to be a lunch pail team next year. 9-8, 10-7. You know what I mean? Best. So I think there's a lot of pieces, a lot of things to work with, man. I'm a Harbaugh guy, so I like it.
As a Broncos fan, yeah, that day sucked for us. Him coming over to our division and everything. I mean, that's just scary too. Right now, they put out the Super Bowl odds for next year. You know, all this, it's just prediction and whatnot. The Broncos are 100-1 to win the Super Bowl. The Chargers are 25-1 already with this jump.
I think the Broncos, man, honestly, I think you guys could. I like Sean Payton. I've always liked Sean Payton. I disagreed with a lot of things he did this year and the way he went about it. But you guys aren't. You could be in a toxic environment if things don't go.
Oh yeah.
Well. Like it could get real bad real quick, and you guys can be in a total rebuild. Like
we're gonna find out this coming year.
So
we're gonna
Broncos are 100-1 because Vegas doesn't know who your quarterback is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Kind of another interesting story. Obviously, Bill Belichick out in New England. Jared Mayo took the helm there as head coach, and there was talk, right? He was interviewing. Belichick was interviewing over at Atlanta, whatnot. And this was very interesting to me. Raheem Morris is now the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. No Bill Belichick. You think the league's just moving on, or he's going to sit out a year, maybe come back? It was weird. I mean, I heard everywhere. He took 2 interviews down there, everything. It sounded like he was going to do it. He was staying down there for a while. And then just today, Raheem Morris, a guy I haven't even really heard of.
Well, he coached the Cardinals for a while. I think he was like 19-33 while he was there. They called him Radio, just so you know. I don't know if you've seen the movie.
Oh,
Cuba Gooding. They called him Radio. I don't know how a guy who's 19-33 gets the job over Bill Belichick.
That was crazy.
The only reason I can think he got the job is like, honestly, you can date Bill Belichick for 3 more years. The dude's 72 years old. He's going to be said like he's 75, 76. Okay, cool. Is he betting? Is he coaching for that record? So I can see that. But when I look at Raheem Morris and I look at Mike Vrabel, dude, Mike Vrabel did a lot with Derrick Henry. With Derrick Henry, dude, he didn't have a quarterback the whole time. Like, he did a lot, dude. So I don't know how Raheem Morris squeaked in there and got the job, but they interviewed not only that, man, they interviewed Harbaugh, Belichick, Raheem Morris, and 14 other candidates that we don't even know about. Nice. They interviewed 17 people, and you're telling me Raheem Morris is the guy? Hey.
And they got a good young core. They got a good young core.
Yeah, for real. Like, exactly what Sasha's saying. They got some weapons over there if they actually utilize some of these guys. So I don't know.
What I read this morning was that Belichick's still trying to get that control. He wants to be the GM. He wants to make the moves. He wants, dude, you're 4-13, 8-9 last 2 seasons. You had 1 winning season without Brady. Like, right? Father Time gets all of us. You're not the same dude. Doesn't work. Your style does. That's the biggest thing. That style doesn't work anymore that he has, right? So, and then you want to take control and everything. Like, hey, I'll bring in a young guy. I'm okay with it. I'll give a guy a second. Listen, if everybody was going to rate out on what people did their first jobs, Bill Belichick never would have left from leaving the Browns. He never would have went to New England.
I agree.
Everybody said, "Oh, he sucked in fucking Cleveland. Why are we giving him another job? This guy's horrible." You know, you go, you learn, you get another shot. But to give Grandpa and give him control of everything, and it's just the times, the athletes. It's kind of like recruiting right now, and Nick Saban going out against Deion. Who does a high school kid want to play for?
Yeah.
And
probably Deion. He's got the flair, he's got the riz, he's got the style. Saban can say, "Look at all this," like Belichick. Look at these titles. They're like, "Look, I'm going to where they got a DJ in the locker room. I'm going to where these guys connect with me," and that's kind of part of it. I think, he's kind of games pass them by.
When you look at it, like transformational leadership, and you look at the Patriots, I think there was a good cop, bad cop on that team. And I think if you really look at it, I think there was an accountability with Belichick, but I think the transformational leader, I think history is going to show it was Tom Brady. And not that either one of them could have done what they did without the other, but I'm saying I think the transformational leader that over time evolved and was able to yin and yang with different players, different personalities, and who, I think it's Tom Brady. I think the accountability was Bill Belichick. So yeah, I'm shocked to see Belichick. I don't know if he coaches this year, man, but I'll tell you an interesting spot. I think, and maybe it's a sleep. The Commanders, don't sleep on the Commanders, man. The Commanders have a lot of young talent. New ownership. The Warriors GM went up there, but that's the reason I think he won't end up there because he's not willing to evolve.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with all that.
But
then,
I give Commanders. The Commanders, I'm giving to their OC. Who the guy from I can't remember his name now. He's with KC forever.
Bieniemy, Eric Bieniemy.
Eric Bieniemy.
Give him Bieniemy, and I think Vrabel's going to show up in Seattle.
Hey, Vrabel in Seattle would be dangerous.
Yeah,
I like
Vrabel
that.
will walk out on Seattle, and the rest of the guys are standing on the curb.
He fits there. Bieniemy, University of Colorado.
Yeah,
And then obviously, and then this guy I think is well deserving of the job and everything. Kind of brought a new culture late in the season. Antonio Pierce, new head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, players coach. And me and Sach have kind of been talking about that when he came in for the interim. You need a players coach. You need a guy who can kind of relate to these guys, get a culture going over there. They're smoking cigars after, it was just big for them to win some of these meaningless games because they haven't had that over there. And now you got a guy like that rocking with you. I love it.
And I mean, the last time that the Raiders had a players coach, this was before McDaniels. This was right when, what's his name? Chucky.
Gruden.
yeah.
This was right when Gruden. This was
Gruden.
right when Gruden got fired midseason, and they had what was that dude's name? Does anyone know?
He was like an offensive lineman or something like that. He's a big guy. I know he was the Husky fella, but
No,
he was there.
Talking about Callahan?
No, not Callahan. Their interim head coach for the rest of that year was
the dude he took over for Gruden.
Yeah, it was that year. And the Raiders were balling out for him to finish off that year, and the players were vouching for him to stay as the head coach. And I know a lot of the fan base and a lot of the players were, upset that they didn't hire him full time, and then they went and got McDaniels, and that was a disaster. So I know a lot of the Raiders fan base was wanting them to stick with what the player coach that they wanted. So I think the management this time were like, we're not going to screw this one up. We're just going to go with who the players want and who the fan base wants.
They feel most confident with
who's doing good at the time. And I know Crosby said, they're not going to bring him back. Just trade me. So
I'm a Raider guy. Like I like the Raiders. I grew up with the Raiders. Oakland, back to LA, back to Oakland. Just couldn't wear their stuff. School was gang related. So I kind of didn't, rock them like I should have, but I love the Raiders. I think they were forced to do this more than they wanted to do it. We'll see how it works out. I hope it works out. They still got to find a quarterback, in my opinion. But I think the players coach thing works when you're winning.
it was Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah, Rick. Yeah, Rich. He was special teams. He was special teams, dude.
Yeah, special teams coordinator. He was a very good special teams coordinator. He was a Cowboys special teams coordinator back in the day. And he coached 5 games after Gruden got fired and led them to a winning record that season and a playoff berth within those 5 games. Like, I know they were on the cusp. So that was what he did, and they didn't bring him back. So that's why I'm saying I think they were just like, we're just going to go with Antonio Pierce because, we're not going to screw this one up this time. And
I think
even if it don't work out, you can't be mad at the Raiders for not making it work out. They gave the guy the best chance possible. And
I think
the whole organization backed him up. So you can't look stupid going to get Josh McDaniels, who's an ass head coach, and look like fools once again. So
you could go get Raheem Morris.
So the Falcons,
give him a chance. Give him a chance.
They said the Falcons blew a 2-0 interview lead. to fumble Belichick.
I mean, it was just like as soon as McDaniels was out and Pierce came in, it was just like a switch. I mean, the confidence that flowed within the whole team was crazy. They looked like a brand new team, and they wanted to play.
They were physical, and I think
they were. Yeah,
the league is about like the league is getting more physical. Like if you notice, like who we got left, every team in left is physical on defense, or they're a pretty decent defensive team. You know what I mean? The Chiefs, you would say, would be the least physical team, but at the same time, they're allowing 17.3 points per game over the season. So at some point, you got to look at them. You just don't see them as that Patrick Mahomes. But the Ravens are physical. The Lions are physical. The Niners are physical. Like, these are physical teams. And I would argue that they're not just physical teams. Those three teams that I mentioned are physical on offense too. Like, they want to run the ball. They want to throw their tight ends. They want to, like, so I think the league is going back to that. I think that, like, defensive coordinators being hired. I don't like it, but is what it is.
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. We'll see. And then obviously we have two more quarterbacks, one for the Titans, one for the Panthers. The one for the Panthers, that's just a guy, right? First-time head coach, Canellas. I mean, they're just hiring him because they can fire him if it goes to stray again.
Do you think they're seeing him as a McVay or a Shanahan?
Well, they put him in for a year, right? They put him in for a year. They're not giving them this big contract because they want to see what he can do, obviously. But if he doesn't do anything, they can just fire their GMs. The guy can just fire coaches and keep rolling them out, see what's going on.
The last two coaches have been fired mid-season.
Yeah.
So
that's how this GM is over there. He's throwing drinks on fans. He's firing coaches.
But I think the reason that they did that is because they have a young Bryce Young, and they need an offensive mind that can help him develop. Because, I mean, he did do a pretty good job over there in Tampa. Like what he did with Baker Mayfield this year, he made him look pretty damn good. I mean, higher than most expectations that people had. So I think that they were just looking for a young offensive coordinator, offensive mind that could help Bryce develop, help him, lead. They weren't going to go get a defensive coordinator-minded coach. So I think it was the right move. I mean, I tell people all the time, people want to fire everyone, but I mean, like, what is out there? Like, there's not many out there that are proven. So you got to take a chance.
Yeah.
You got to take a chance on people. And I mean, I like the chance that they did. He's a good offensive coordinator. And you just got to see where it ends up. If it don't work, it don't work, and you just got to move on to the next one. But it's not like they were going to go get a proven head coach that wanted to probably take that spot. So, I mean, I could see it.
Yeah, if there was a proven head coach, he wasn't going to take the Panther spot.
Yeah,
why would they? Yeah, why would they?
He said throwing drinks on fans, firing people mid-season. Sound like a Zach Jones keg party to me. People getting kicked out mid-party, drinks being thrown on people. I don't know.
Dude threw a drink on a fan and got fined. Dude's a multi-billionaire or whatever. Got fined $300,000, which was like a couple $25 bills to him.
Hey, Zach, if you could throw a couple drinks on some people and just, it wasn't nothing to you, that's all you got, I think you'd be throwing some fucking liquid.
I might.
I mean, I don't condone violence, but I'm saying.
I don't condone.
Let's dice it up a little, get back into these Sunday games real quick. I know we're going to kind of go over it more Saturday for the Saturday crew while we got some more lines out and whatnot. But for that KC Ravens game, we got to talk about this little bet between Tweedledee and Tweedledum over there. And then
man, you remember the Titans, man, where they were like left side, strong side. So when you look at the screen, you see me and Sops. We are aligned. We are connected. We have synergistic effects. Hey, look, dude. Me and Sops like them Kansas City, my homeboys.
I keep hearing all this stuff
but you were pretty strong yesterday. Monday with the KC. At least Sash was
100%.
like, anything can happen. You were like, it could be 10 points, 20 points, 50 points. It don't matter.
No.
KC,
Whit
give me the money line.
said, and I quote, he was like, look, I'm just telling you guys now. It's at 3.5 right now. I don't care what it is. Come Sunday,
Going
I'm
down.
staying with 3.5
Where's the
now.
line at? Where's the line at now, ZJ?
It's still at 3.5.
It's at 3.5. Why?
3.5 and 4. It's been bouncing on certain.
So tomorrow. So
But nothing. But you were like,
people won't start
changing
hitting
my
until
mind.
Friday.
exactly.
Yeah, that's why Saturday we'll have a better analysis.
You tell me you're betting against Tom Brady, you're betting against Patrick Mahomes, and I'm giving you 4 points. But that's what I'm giving you. I'm giving you 4 points. I mean 3.5.
4 points.
You're telling me
am.
on the road, whatever. I'm giving you. There's not a game. Tell me a game that he's been blown out by that you would any game in his career that you'd say, hey man, I got Mahomes 3.5 plus 3.5 that you wouldn't take it.
But you got no. So I get the spread thing too. But you guys also said you're predicting them to just win the game.
But we're taking the point. Why would we not allow that buffer? I said
No,
I
I
like
got you.
Kansas City to win, but I'm telling the people out there take the points because
So what
if
do you
they,
guys, what do you
it's-
want the bet to be then? You and Sach.
oh, did me and Sach were we
The
on the
points.
thread? Were me and Sach on the thread talking about a steak dinner and all these things? I think you're trying to, like
He's trying to swindle something.
Yeah, we're very aligned. Like me and Sach we're grounded in our morals, our ethics, and our values. And we like the points and Kansas City with those points.
Let them know, E. Where we at, E? Wisdom, E.
We're Baltimore all day. Points, no points. We got
No,
this.
Yeah,
There you go.
what points, no points? What do you guys want? Well, pick and choose, point and shoot. I'm
He
going with a guy right now who still wants to prove himself. I'm going with that guy who's got that fire in him to win the big game.
The points.
You know
That's
he's
who I'm going with.
You know he's 0-3 against Mahomes in the playoffs, right?
This is the time. But this is the time. This is the game, right? This is the game to do it.
Hey, so how about this?
I mean, Denver beat Mahomes 24-9. That's Russell Wilson
What's the bet? We going
this year. They lost to the Chargers. Brandon Stanley that couldn't get. They lost to Brandon Stanley that couldn't find his way out of phone booth. 31-17. You said show me a team that's beat them by 4. I'm giving you double-digit losses this year.
We got to understand too how good the Chiefs are right now and how good they've been in the past. This has been the down year for the Chiefs. The down year.
And the dudes are 10. They're 10. And the thing is, so I'm saying, where was the time you wouldn't have taken Patrick Mahomes plus 3.5? I'm not saying he has got beat. I think Patrick Mahomes has graduated to a point in his career where it's like, man, this ain't homecoming. Like this isn't a big game.
6 AFC championships.
Yeah,
The Ravens lost to the
I think we're trying.
the Colts.
We're not even trying, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not
Ravens
saying
lost
the
to the
Ravens
Colts,
are
the
going to come
Steelers.
in. Like I think this argument is not that it's silly, but it's
Browns.
kind of silly in the sense that you got the 4 top teams playing. Besides you two on the left, I don't think people will be surprised if Ravens win. I don't think people will be surprised if KC win. It's just going to be a battle. Like
So I'm just trying to
we're trying to throw like, hey, this guy's better than that guy or whatever. You got 2 Thunderdogs just pounding it out this weekend. It's going to be a hell of a game. You know,
Oh yeah.
Pacheco, Edwards. It should be a great game, and we're trying to say, well, this team's going to win because of whatever. I'm just telling you who I like. I like the home chalk. That's where I'm at, and I don't think the spread's going to matter. I think if Baltimore wins, it'll be by more than 4. You know, but all we're doing is just trying to put our best guesses on it. But this isn't like a KC Miami game or something.
I feel like I'm where he's at, but I do feel like ZJ's trying to get a meal. You know what I mean? That's really what he's trying to do.
He's always trying to eat. You know what's the thing on
Yeah,
that?
he's like, are we talking a nice steak? Are we talking like an Applebee's steak? Are we talking like?
I didn't
Like, I
ask
feel like
that.
the guy just wants to
He
eat.
asked. I didn't ask that. All I'm saying is it's Team E and ZJ, Sach and Witt. Let's make a little wager here. You know, we got one side versus the other side.
Look, man, what are we talking about? We talking about the famous in Colorado Springs? We talking about Ruth Chris?
I'm talking maybe we
Mackenzie
do
Stop
something like,
Houses is kind of
I'm talking maybe we do a steak dinner. Witt flies out here, maybe hit a little cigar bar after. That's what I'm talking.
Gosh, not Mackenzie's. It's the one in Denver. It's near Landry.
It's Sach. Yeah, it's Sach. It's
a steakhouse. and it has a whiskey bar in it as well. It's like 2 blocks up from Landry's. No,
is it Longhorn?
What? No.
Elway.
It's a place you got to have a reservation. Got to wear a jacket. Come on, Jones.
Yeah. No. I'm with you.
So here's the bet. Here's the bet. And this is just, I'm throwing out there. Josh needs to co-sign on. Here's the bet. The bet is steakhouse in Denver, or Colorado Springs, whatever you want to say. During the NBA Finals, that's when the bet will be paid. I'll fly out in June. That's when the bet will be played. We'll go to the steakhouse, watch the game together.
Okay.
Cocktails out. The other two split the bill.
The winners get to pick the location. The losers will pay for the tab. That's the deal.
I like it. All right, so just so we're clear, we're doing the spreads on these. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm just trying to clarify.
You want the points? You guys are so look. E said, "I don't need the points. I don't need nothing. I don't care." Baltimore, I think they're gonna win.
No, that's what you were saying yesterday. Give me 50. Give me a minus 50, 40, 20 money line.
I think when people start talking about points, like Jones, like, well, so what do you mean? I think that shows a level of commitment that he's lacking. You know what I mean? Adam Silver is having some doubts. You know what I mean?
We're locking it in at 3.5, which is basically
plus 3.5.
4.
Left side, strong side.
Minus 3.5.
Plus 3.5.
All right.
NBA Finals. That's when we're going out there. My 45th birthday is June 12th. I'll be out there somewhere within the range that we do. This is a date. NBA Finals, game 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. Somewhere in there, I'll fly out. Hey, hopefully I'm not buying a plane ticket and a freaking steak. But, hey, man of my word.
It's called Del Frisco's.
Del Frisco's.
Del Frisco.
You
been there? Didn't you go with me with? Did you go there for my retirement with us when we all went out there? Del Frisco's, the steakhouse in Denver.
I didn't go there. I was at Cheddar's. I came in, I think, a day after.
Oh, Cheddar's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the steak that Del Frisco.
So Del Frisco's. We paid up at Del Frisco's.
All right.
And just that gives us 6 months to save because that place is no joke.
Yeah. And
maybe we do a live spot from there. We go live on the NBA Finals.
Make sure you got a jacket. All right, because me and Sach will be in hoodies with the jackets. That's how we roll. We're laid back. You know what I mean?
It's a bet. It's a bet. Left versus right. Cool. We'll keep bouncing and rolling with this game. I know we'll get into this more kind of on the Saturday show with the lines and everything, but any player props right now you guys are kind of looking at or interested in with this KC Ravens game at the moment?
I'm looking at this one, and it kind of goes against what Whit and I are going with.
That's bad energy.
I know, but they got Lamar Jackson at plus 105 for
105 to score a TD, Sach? That's what I'm on. I'm not going to lock it in yet, but that's one that I'll really have.
Plus 105, a rushing TD or a throwing TD or any
rushing.
It's a rushing TD.
Or he can catch a touchdown. You never know. It could be a Philly special.
He has to score a touchdown.
He has to catch it or run it. He can't throw it.
I don't like that.
He got two. He got 2 last game.
That's what he's good. That's what he's good at, though. He's good on his feet, man. I mean, you put the ball in this guy's hand. I love that play. Plus 105, Lamar Jackson to score a TD.
And if you are going to take it, if anyone out there is like, oh, they want to take it, you better take it now because it's going to be minus.
It will definitely drop by Saturday.
It's going to
be minus 100, like easy.
That's a play now type bet if you want to do that.
Absolutely, some good juice.
You
looking at anything? E? Are you seeing anything you like?
I'm waiting until I've definitely got some props come Saturday. I want to wait and see. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Dr. Chow. He does a sports report on injuries and all that. He'll be out. His report comes out tomorrow. But I want to see about Mark Andrews. Is he, is he half gas? Where's he at? Because I think his over and under is at 35.5 right now. Mark Andrews is always when he's healthy, he's always a money maker. The Lamar spots maybe up to I don't know how far I want to go with his rushing. But he just seems to run in these playoff games. But usually by Saturday, have it locked in and you can see where everybody's at and who's playing, who isn't, who's healthy. Pacheco, they say he's got toe. He hasn't been practicing. He's got bad toe. He's going to play, but you're like, well, what is it? What's going on? And by Friday, they got to have their reports in and all that good stuff. So then you can go out and see what you got.
Yeah, I thought Pacheco.
I think a lot of stuff, because it's the playoff, because it's the championship, will be juiced high, some of these numbers. So I want to look, see where we go. Maybe I'll take some Mondays.
Yeah, I got you. What about you, Whit, right now, or you kind of still waiting too?
I'm gonna hold off. Like, I like to wait. Like I said, I'm gonna wait on Dr. Chow. Just wait for the injury report. He's like, hey, Dr. Chow's texting me, so I'll let you know when I get the text with the threat. But he's a G. He's like the doctor that's assessing everything. Dude's connected at multiple levels. You never know. Dr. Chow. So I'm gonna wait. I don't need Dr. Chow to call me, leave a voicemail. Like, I'm just gonna wait for the report. On Saturday, I think I'll have some. I think there's some I like to look. Edwards is one that's interesting. I think there'll be some interesting ones out there potentially. We'll see what Lamar's rushing is, but I like not just Lamar rushing. I kind of like if you take a parlay Lamar and Mahomes combined rushing yards. I think there'll be some interesting action there. I know they have Mahomes and Allen to rush both over 50 yards, which they both did. I think that was a huge one, but I think that you can get him at plus, 30, 40 yards, both of them, and I think they'll both do that. I think Mahomes is going to be running around a little bit more. I think he's going to have to get rid of the ball quick. I think Lamar is going to have to run the ball because I think the KC defense is a little bit better than what people think. In addition to, I think the KC defense matches up well in the secondary with Baltimore's wideouts, and here's why. Baltimore does not have Zay Flowers. Outside of that, if Edwards is not fully a go, I think you're going to have some things. There's no clear-cut target to go to. There's no number one on that team, Zay Flowers. So if Edwards isn't good, I'm rolling a safety over the top. I'm maybe doubling Zay Flowers, giving some different looks, and now Lamar is forced. Now remember with Lamar, I think he's okay first, second read, makes plays with his legs, but when you get him to that third read, I think he has hesitation. That's when you get to him. So I'm going to wait is the short answer to that. But I think there's going to be some interesting quarterback parlays or rushing yards over. Gotcha. Zach's like, I don't know what you just said. He just smirked like he's just looking at me like.
Here's where I do agree with you is a lot of people sleep on Patrick Mahomes' rushing yards.
Yeah.
That dude's gonna try to extend some plays, go for some first downs and whatnot. I mean, he gets on his wheels too. He's not as speedy or as shifty as Lamar, right? But that dude wants to extend some plays and get going.
Patrick Mahomes is a definition of smooth is fast, fast is smooth. The dude, he had the longest rush in the game the other night, and people wouldn't know. It was like 33 yards or something. People wouldn't know that, but it's like the guy just gets out there and he just he's Brett Favre, pumps the ball, and next thing you know, he's 22 yards down the field. You know what I mean? So,
and that's what. And I think people, when people think of Patrick Mahomes, they're thinking of everything else, and I don't think they really look at that stuff much, which is why I really like the rushing on Patrick Mahomes, and I agree with you. These two quarterbacks are game changers. I mean, you put the ball in these guys' hands, you don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to make something special happen with both of these guys.
Yeah.
So that's why this game is must-see TV. I mean, this is going to be the game of the weekend. It's going to be crazy to see how many people are viewing this game because this is the game to watch. Like he said, this is an absolute dogfight here.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
And that's what I like about football, right? It's not best out of four. You only get one shot. Honestly, KC goes to Buffalo 2 more times. Who knows what happens? But we only played that game once. And
you do me a favor, put that hood on and say you only get one shot one more time. Put that
is that for the cameras for the little that
It's a little 8 Mile. Let's get a little 8 Mile.
One shot.
You only get one shot.
Look in your private app. Look in the private chat. I sent you guys something.
OnlyFans. Hashtag E_.
Oh, there's football doc.
He would be in the top
Yeah.
10% of creators.
100%.
100%. Okay, we can we'll bounce over. Like I said, we're gonna have more stuff for you guys later on in the Saturday episode, just with lines and whatnot. We're kind of just joshing around right now, but obviously the next game, 4:31 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Detroit Lions at the San Francisco 49ers. Not a lot of interest in this one, especially as much as the first one, but it'll be definitely be something to watch. Because I mean, hey, it would be great to see if the Lions could do something here.
I would wait, honestly, for the – I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like on Sunday, but Jared Goff's a dome quarterback. He's been a dome quarterback throughout his career. Everyone knows that he can't play good, in the elements. And sticking to my guns, I think the Niners are just going to beat them by 10+. In all honesty, I really do. I think when you just have the offenses go up to each other, even without Debo. I know it's like a well-oiled machine that we were saying, but I still like the Niners offense a little bit more than the Lions. And the defenses are night and day, in my opinion, for right now. And the coaches, I mean, you just go on experience. And Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan's his advisor. He's acting like he's a head coach, telling him what he sees. It's been like that for a long time. Mike Shanahan's one of the best coaches. I know the Donkey fans love Mike Shanahan. So I think it's just going to be a blowout. I just can't see it. I think the lights might be a little too bright for the Lions in general. So that's who I'm gonna stick with. I'm gonna stick with it for right now. But props wise, I don't really know anything right now for the Niners. It just depends if Debo's out there. So.
Hold up, man. I got a technicality over here. Did someone change my name to Cisco?
Cisco.
Who's got creative control of this show? You can't just change someone's name. That's got to go through the court, a vetting process, and take that off my name. I was about to leave, go grab something real quick, come back. As I circled around, I saw Cisco. Okay.
He says, "Give me a sec."
Respect your elders, young man. Damn. Who's that guy they said he looked like the other day?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
Not
Shout
Adam
out Tony.
Shout
out Tony.
So, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting game. I'm more interested, I think, in this game because I think it can go one of two ways. And San Francisco didn't show me they could stop the run. So that's going to be an interesting thing with the Lions. I like Goff. I think, man, Purdy's been getting destroyed, man. I'm like, the dude led in like 5-6 categories in all quarterback, QBR, yards per attempt, yards per completion, yards per fourth quarter, passing yards, yards on third down, yards on fourth down. Like, he's just getting crushed, man. Small hands, same size as Patrick Mahomes. It's like they don't like him because he looks like a guy that should be like baling hay or something, or he looks like the guy that should be bagging your groceries. He's not nothing. He's not a specimen, but a lot of people are bagging.
He's not a character, so they don't.
Yeah, he's just shows up in a hoodie and some cowboy boots or whatever. But I think Debo's going to be a huge thing, man. If Debo's not a go, I think you saw what happened when he went out last game. I think McCaffrey, hopefully, he's at 100%. Obviously, I think the Niners are more talented, but I just something about them Lions, man. Something about them Lions has me hesitating a little bit. Like I said, I'll wait till Saturday to make the call, but I could see this being a lot closer than people think, or I could see it being a blowout. But I'm gonna do some more research. Got tomorrow. Got about 6 hours blocked just on line tape tomorrow. 6, and then we'll get after it. And I have an 8:30 call. That's Pacific Standard Time with Dr. Chow. And then Saturday I make a call.
Dr. Chow. We got to see if the doc's online.
I'll make sure Ertz is up and running. You know what I mean?
We'll get the doc on the show at one of these points.
Yes. Dr. Chow's legit. 17 years.
That was the best. He was like, "Hey, I hope you guys watch with Dr. Chow. That's where I get mine.
That's where I go."
So, obviously, here when you continue to have a hot hand in a certain place, you tend to follow it. You tend to keep going with it. So I'm really big on George Kittle in this game. Right now, anytime touchdown plus 105.
Damn, man, I'm at plus 105.
Yeah, I'm not even really sure. I don't know if they have his receiving yards at yet, but he's just that guy I feel like a lot of people forget about that they have him because they have so many options over on that San Fran side. And like I said, that one guy who can really open up the middle and just divide everything, I love. So
love a good tight end. Oh,
I love a tight end, man, who can just get into the middle of the field, get things shaken up a little. So definitely going to be on George Kittle probably. We'll see where his receiving lines end up come Sunday. But the other thing, too, I'm very interested in is on the Detroit side of things is, like I said, they got that two-headed horse over there.
Right now, George Kittle's at 61.5.
Ooh.
So usually they got him at usually throughout the year they had him at 53.5, 54.5.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, that's because the Debo news probably for sure. Right now, so.
Yeah.
They don't want people to get the upper hand and get him at fit. They're gonna have him high.
So. So we'll see kind of come Sunday and everything. I'm sure some shifts will be made, but still that anytime TD at plus 105, I don't mind either. Could be a nice one. But on the Detroit side of things, like I said, they got that two-headed monster over there in Montgomery and Gibbs, and those guys are. That's what scares me about Detroit is if these guys can control the run game, I think it kind of what Wood said, it could be a little closer a game, maybe not a blowout. Because when those two running backs get going, it is scary. That is the one thing Detroit has done well all year long is control the run game with those two guys.
Yeah, the Niners need Chase Young to step up. He's been non-existent.
He has been quiet.
No one even knows he's out there. I'm watching the game last week. He's just standing up. He ain't even rushing the passer, bro. He's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Maybe Washington had they saw something like, this dude's not going to turn into anything with. You never know, behind the scenes with work ethic, mentality, you just don't know. And it's proving like a good trade for the Commanders right now because the 49ers are getting nothing out of him.
No use.
Yeah, the Lions have
the Commanders weren't either. That's why they moved them out.
I think the Niners were looking like, hey, we got Bosa. You can be the second, third guy. We got Eric Armstead. You can be the second, third guy. Who's not going to get the double teams. You're going to be one-on-one, and let's see what you can do. Because over there in Washington, he's the main guy with who's the other guy that they also traded? Bears got him. Oh, Sweat. Montez Sweat.
Sweat. Yeah.
So it's looking like
if you're the Niners,
you're non-existent. So
if you're the Niners,
he's gonna have to show up sometime.
You look back. If you're the Niners, you would rather have Sweat.
Oh, if the Niners had Sweat.
Yeah,
that would be unbelievable. Because for the Bears, bro, he was killing it ever since he got killed.
Yeah. He was playing. He was
going berserk.
Yeah, so the Lions haven't been able to stop the run either. So that's going to be interesting too because McCaffrey could have a huge day. So I'm going to tell you where I'm going to be looking on Sunday or Saturday, early Sunday morning. I'm going to be looking at what McCaffrey's over under is. Like I like him for an anytime touchdown. Obviously, it's McCaffrey. But I'm going to be looking at what his over-under yards is, total yards, passing and receiving. I'll also be looking at what his rushing yards are because I think you could see McCaffrey have a huge day.
Yeah. Thing with McCaffrey is his line's going to be so damn high. He's going to be at 95 yards rushing, 30 yards receiving.
Minus 380 for anytime TD, right?
Even two touchdowns is probably going to be minus 110. His stuff is just so damn high. And I
anytime touchdown, David Montgomery plus 130.
See,
he's got 13 on the year.
Those are the ones I like, E.
That's a lot of See, I'd rather go with the Montgomery over Kittle. Kittle at plus 105, it doesn't seem like there's much value in that to me.
Yeah.
He's not
No.
not a main touchdown guy. He's a yards guy. He's not a touchdown guy.
Yeah. I just like it because, again, a lot of guys just forget about him with all the options they have over in the receiver core.
Yeah.
That's why he strikes out for those big plays every game.
That's why I like him at plus 150 or something.
Does he like it? Does he like it, though?
I like what E just said with David Montgomery anytime plus 130. That's some good juice on a play like that.
So
especially when they start getting up to the goal line and everything.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what
the only one I didn't like he had was Baltimore over Kansas City. That's the only one. But I like this one.
Yeah, they get on that goal line. They like Montgomery. He just seems to score first. Gibbs will get his later, but they always just seem to get Montgomery. And again, he's got 13 on the year, so
it's a good play.
Gibbs has to break one. He has to bust one. You know what I mean? He's got to get past that second level. So that's going to be.
We kind of skipped over this. I just kind of wanted to get your guys' quick take on this. So we'll go back real quick to the Chiefs-Ravens with that over and under right now at 44.5. How do we feel about that?
I like the under. And here's why. So the Ravens over the last 6 have given up under 20 points a game. The Chiefs have given up 17.3 all season long. I think what you saw was Allen and Mahomes, when they get in their fields, it becomes a 3-point shooting contest. I think this one will be a little bit more conservative. I think you'll see a lot more checkdowns. I think you'll see a lot more run. I think unless someone gets up 10, 14 points, you won't see. I think look at Mahomes' numbers. I think he threw 21 times. So, and that was in that game. They scored 27. So I think what you're going to see is those numbers will be down. So I like the under. I like this to be a 2017, 2014, something to that effect. 21, 14, something like that. 21-16, something. So I just think it's going to be right around there, even 24-17, something like that. So I don't think you're going to see 45 points scored in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the under as well. I think there'll be a lot of running, to be honest with you.
And everyone's going to,
especially with
public
guys and
loves over. Public loves the good over.
Public probably does love the over here.
Yeah, they do.
And then we could go. So then we'll just bounce back to the Lions 49er game. Under 50.
Did you say what was the over under on that, Jones?
44.5.
44.5.
Okay.
And then so over to the Lions 49ers, they got it at 51.5.
I'll say an under too. I'll take both.
Yeah,
unders.
I was gonna. Is that just me, or does that one seem really high?
Yeah, I'll take 2 unders. Just going off the point of the public loves overs. Vegas will just take that money in real quick. They'll win that way on both games. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what the weather's going to be like in San Fran. That'll be a play. But
Partly cloudy and 66. Winds at 3 miles an hour.
Yeah. Nice. Good weather.
Yeah, I like that one to be. I like that one to be over. That's me. I would take.
And even like Sark was saying, Goff's just a different guy on the road.
What game is
this?
this?
The Lions going to be able to score.
The Niners.
Lions
49ers.
51.5. Over under 51.5.
Oh shit!
Does that not seem really high, Sach?
That seems high.
Seems really high.
I think the Niners are going to put it together. I think the Niners, I like them 34-20, 34-24, 34-27, something of that nature. So I would take me personally, I would take the over on that. I think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
I got you. Cool. Well, yeah, we'll wrap up NFL right there. Obviously, we'll have some more stuff for you guys on Saturday for the Saturday morning show. Hopefully some lines will be differentiated and whatnot, but an exciting week of games. This is it. Like we said, 3 NFL games left on the season. It's crazy to think that we're already at this point.
Sad.
It's gonna be it's depressing once it's over because it's like, damn.
It's gonna be good. Hey ZJ, what about a exciting game right now with the Kings and Warriors? Always exciting. I'm watching it right now. But can we talk about? I've been wanting to talk about this all week, and I thought you were going to get to it with all the coaching things. I thought you were going to switch gears. The Doc Rivers, Adrian Griffin, the Milwaukee Bucks. Like, wow. No excitement there, no juice, no.
Sach and I were kind of talking about it this week. Go ahead, Sach. We were kind of talking about it.
So Adrian Griffin, I mean, never been a head coach. You could tell that the players really weren't too much bought into him from the jump. And they have like a 30-13 record, and he got fired. And the reason for it is because their defense is awful.
27.
Awful. And you have a reigning defensive player of the year in Giannis. You have Brook Lopez, who's a league leader in block shots for not this year, but I mean he's a defensive player of the year caliber type player. You got Chris Middleton, who's solid, but there's the way that there's a way to win games and there's a way to lose games. They're winning games, but they're giving up 130 points to the Pistons, and it's just not good enough. I mean, you can't just shoot your way into a championship, and expect this is the regular season. Teams are gonna do what they want. They're gonna score. They're gonna blah blah blah. But you need to have a solid defensive base to win a championship, and it's just not. It's better to just do it now because there was no progression ever since the start of the season with the Bucks on defense, and I think with young coaches like that who are very new to being a head coach, it's hard to know how to manage egos on that team. You got Brook Lopez who has an ego, like he does, even though he's like a role player. You got Middleton, he's like, hey, I'm not no bum either. Damian Lillard and Giannis. You have 4 egos on that team, and the best available head coach at the time is Doc Rivers. He knows how to manage egos. Throughout his career, he's coached countless Hall of Famers. I mean, and he's done pretty good. He just hasn't gone over the hump to win another title since the 08 Celtics. But I like the hire. It's better to make it now. Doc Rivers, he's had some pretty damn good defensive teams throughout his career. He knows how to manage egos, like I just said. So, I mean, I like the hire. I'm glad they did it soon rather than later to give him no time. He basically still has 50. He basically still has half the season, a little over half the season left to figure it out. So I like the move by the Bucks. I mean, and a coach that goes in there with championship pedigree.
I think he's
all good points, except for the only thing I didn't like about it was it's dirty, it's shady, it's dirty.
Let me tell you about that. That's why they like. Yeah,
it's a dirty business. It's a dirty business.
I'll tell you, Doc was hired as a consultant.
Yeah, he was a consultant for about. I didn't even know he was a consultant.
Yeah, he was hired to help him out as an agent, going back to ownership behind his back.
Yeah.
But the thing I didn't like about it, and this is where I think the league's not going to like about it, and the players, is that you fired your coach that morning, and you mean 5 hours later, with not knowing anything, you negotiated a multi-million-dollar contract with the
he
coach.
was hired well before.
That shit was getting done. That shit was getting done way before. And you had this guy walking around, dead man walking. Other people see it. The league sees it. Coaches see it. They're like, hey, what's going on with this ownership over here? You're right. It is a tough business, but so your points were accurate. It's just the way it got done.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Just Eric McCullough. I don't believe Giannis or Lillard that they had no idea.
Exactly.
Not with the money those guys make and who Giannis is. Not in today's league.
That's why I wanted to talk about it. I was like, this was a 72-hour prior steak dinner and probably a 2-week prior conversation with some discussions. And Doc knew. He knew, right?
Yeah,
and so he was in the know. I also think it speaks to Giannis's leadership. I also think, is it a ploy? Is the GM and management trying to CYA? Because here's the deal. You don't get rid of a Drew Holiday on-ball defender guard and just say, our defenses will be fine. No, Drew Holiday is a way better defender than Damian Lillard. So when you got rid of Drew Holiday, you knew you were going to take a step back in the backcourt. Yeah. So how are you thinking that your defense is going to improve? That wasn't the reason you got rid of Drew Holiday. You thought you need to keep with the Celtics. You need another scorer. So the whole thing is bad. Not saying I don't agree with the Lillard trade. I think it was a fine trade, but I think there's pieces that you're missing. And Middleton's having his worst year. So he is a bum this year. He hasn't done much. He's a bum. Hopefully
Bucks win tonight.
What's that?
Did the Bucks win tonight?
Yeah, I didn't even
They
look.
played
But
yesterday.
I heard last night. I haven't even read the article. I pulled an
But
article.
they're playing tonight.
They won yesterday. They won yesterday. They snapped the Cavaliers like 8-game win streak. So
I guess they were dancing. They were dancing before the game. And
they were dancing. That wasn't cool. I don't know unless they do that all the time. But
they played yesterday, and shout out to the morning show for cashing the Chris Middleton over 15.5 points.
You did call it.
15.
Shout that out.
So I agree with your points. Eric McCullough just doesn't like the way he got it.
Yeah, that's where I agree with Soch too. I just
every point you made was on point. They're not going to win with him. He lost the team.
Yeah,
and I read something this morning that he told Giannis's brother he was going to report him for insurance fraud because he's collecting that money in a check but can't play.
Who did?
He's so sorry.
Who did?
He was going to point him. So he's just an old school coach that doesn't fit in. You got to go, but just the way it went down was.
Yeah, it was weird. It was wonky.
But it was inevitable. What are you going to do?
Doc's lost more 3-1 leads than any coach in NBA history. Obviously, his Game 7 reputation does not, exude confidence. But at the same time, I think if Milwaukee has a chance to go up against Boston, that change need to be made. But don't get rid of Drew Holiday and act like your defense is going to be better. Oh, we slipped in defense. Of course you did. Of course, it's a guard-driven league, and you traded your best on-ball defender. You know what I mean? So, I thought, man, this was a state dinner, man. This was a conversation. Here's the plan. I've been involved with conversations like that going back to my military career. Felt dirty being in them, although I wasn't probably the most active participant. But when you looked at that, I was like, man, I don't know. And then to E's point, no way Giannis and Lillard didn't know.
Yeah, they knew. They had to have. They probably liked it too.
At a bare minimum, they said, "Yeah, I'm okay with that."
Yeah, they had a say in it
because you're not doing
Giannis.
That
it was like
management went to Giannis and wanted to know what.
Yeah, hey, give me a
what he liked.
Hoodwinked him like, hey, give me a blink twice if you're good. You know. So I wanted to get to that. I'm not a big Doc Rivers guy. I mean, this is his 25th consecutive season coaching basketball. You have one title. It took really the first big three to do it. You only won one. You came back, lost like I like Doc, but at the same time, like, dude, is he the Belichick? Is the time passed him on? You know what I mean? Now I knew, the 76ers situation wasn't ideal, but I don't know, man. I'm just glad that they filled the void and didn't just do the interim. We'll just get through the season type thing and give up on the season.
Yeah, hell no.
So I like that they did that.
It's just one of those things too, though. It's big over there because if you guys remember, as soon as that Dame trade was made, the Bucks were the favorite to win the championship this year, and they haven't been living up to the expectations so far. So a move like this, we got to get them back in the picture. They're in a championship window right now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
but you got Giannis in his prime.
To what I hear you, Eric. Like the whole way it was done, weird and whatnot. But to also what Soch is saying, and it's kind of like what we were talking about with the NFL coaches, especially with like the Panthers and Bryce Young. You know, they needed a young guy to come in there and figure him out.
I'm all in.
You have the older veteran guy with a championship caliber team. You need that experienced coach there with these guys and with the egos around him. I thought Doc was good with the 76ers last year. And me and Soch were talking about this, James Harden and Embiid really got him fired. I thought he was doing a solid job with those guys over there. So, we'll see what happens and whatnot. But yeah, the expectation over in Milwaukee is to win a ship, especially with that trade they just made.
Harden is toxic, man.
Yeah, he's the reason Doc got fired. Him and Embiid got Doc fired last year for their poor performance.
The thing is, he was coaching last year. He was coaching Embiid and Harden, who before Doc even coached them, they were notoriously known for not showing up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
At least now with Damian Lillard and Giannis, those are two dudes that are known for showing up in the playoffs. They've done it. Well, not Dame, but Dame has showed up in the playoffs from what they were given. He was on a shitty Blazers team, but like he don't have to worry about them showing up. I feel like when they get to the playoffs. He was coaching Embiid and Harden, who were just ass in the playoffs, both of them. Embiid scored 14, 15 points in a game 7. James Harden scoring 0 points in a closeout game. I don't know.
Yeah, Harden's effort comes and goes, man.
And these guys got bounced in the first round last year. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of expectations.
No, they went to the second round.
Yeah,
oh, you're saying Milwaukee. Oh, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Yeah, they got bounced in the first by
the Heat.
JB. But if memory serves me, Embiid was hurt too, correct?
He was lingering some injury issue with the Sixers. Yeah,
so that was an issue, but no, I just that to me it speaks to where we are in sports a little bit and where we're going, where I hope we don't continue to go. And then the other thing is like kind of where the world is at is that there's a way to do it and a way not to do it. And I think this one's probably gonna karma's gonna come back to bite them sooner rather than later. So we'll see what happens next year, but I don't like their odds this year.
Hey, did you guys watch the TNT crew last night when they were talking about that at the half? It was kind of the B squad, but Jamal Crawford is the only one who even said anything.
Yeah,
they said, well, they brought in Doc Rivers to help him out, and Jamal Crawford's like, yeah, he helped him out all right, helped him out the door, and then that was it. Nobody said anything ever again.
Everyone was like, leave it alone, leave it alone.
Yeah,
all good stuff. So, Z, what's the Super Bowl we want to see? So we made our picks, so we're gonna make our picks.
Bets out there and everything. I mean, I obviously as a Broncos fan, I don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and over on the other side of things, I really do like Lamar Jackson, so I would like to see him get there, and I just think the 49ers are too good, so I just see it being Ravens 49ers.
He winced. I don't. He was like,
"What?" Yeah, I was tracking him. He said he didn't like the Chiefs. And then he said on the other side, I thought he meant NFC. But he
I know.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel with it.
Niners, Baltimore, let's run it back. I think they're the two top teams. I wouldn't be hurt with Niners, Chiefs either. I just don't know if I want to see. I mean, Lions could be fun, but
I think the Lions, Ravens could be interesting. I think KC they would get a little bit too creative for Dan Campbell. But I want to see the Niners Chiefs. That's what I want to see. I think it'd be the most exciting thing to watch. I think when you get to Niners Ravens, I think you're probably gonna watch a pretty boring Super Bowl, 17-13, 20-17, something like that. I think the best game is the Niners Chiefs. But man, I would love to see the Lions win everything.
I mean, that would be a hell of a story.
I'd love to see it.
A hell of a story.
I don't want the Lions.
Sacha's like, let me go ahead and sprinkle some. That's not going to happen. Dust on there.
Sacha's like, well, I did want the Cowboys, but
if you're a sponsor that already paid for your time slot for the Super Bowl, you're not rooting for Detroit. What? To say that. If you're a sponsor, Pepsi, whoever, that already paid for your time slot in the Super Bowl, you're not rooting for Detroit.
No, they're rooting for the
Niners get in and any of the other two.
I think from so I went out and had a beverage tonight, got some wings, and I was like asking the dude and a couple people like, hey, and the bars want, the business wants the Niners fucking Chiefs. That's what they want because that's the fan base. You know what I mean? Like people want to watch Mahomes and the Niners out in California. Obviously, it's huge, but that's who they want for revenue out here. Now I could see Baltimore, but I think the money is the Chiefs Niners. I think that's where the money's at.
Real quick, I know we just went over we're at our kind of hour mark here. I just wanted to add this just because we're pretty much Colorado based. Obviously, Witt's out in San Diego, but he was in Colorado for a good period of time. How we all know each other. How does it feel right now that we have two of the best players in the world on two different Colorado teams, and both of those teams are favorited right now to win it all? And I'm talking about Nathan McKinnon for the Colorado Avalanche and then
Jamal Murray and Russell Wilson.
And Nikola
Murray.
and Nikola Jokic over there for the Nuggets. Nathan McKinnon right now is on track to win the Hart Award for hockey. That's the MVP of the league. Wow. He was like +3. That dude was like +800 a couple months ago. Went down to +300. He's now -110. just had a natural hat trick the other night and then scored a 4th goal, and it was great. I like the Avs, so that's kind of where my hockey interest is. But like, ladies were throwing panties in the rink and everything from last night. Dude went crazy.
Well, hold on, are you really interested when you said panties?
Didn't the Joker have a game tonight? I don't know what happened. Was the Joker on tonight? The game was blacked out, so I don't know.
I knew this was going to happen. He with the New York Knicks. Hey, I mean, you can't.
I didn't know.
We were just coming off a 3-1 road trip.
I read somewhere that somebody made somebody eat a 40.
They got blown out by 38. They got blown out by 38.
You can't win them all. We just came back from a 3-1 road trip. I mean,
hey, Jones and Sauce, on the side note, I'm thinking about getting tickets for the Knicks. They're coming out in March. If you guys are interested.
Yeah, I'll
that
go.
Would be fun. Let's go.
Nuggets up in Denver.
Wait, why do you like the Knicks? I'm confused.
I'm just from New Jersey, and always like the Knicks.
It's a thing, I mean,
back when I was growing up, it was Pat Riley, Pat Ewing, Oakley, John Starks. So
as long as I've known
John Starks,
he's loved them Knicks, but he loves
Jeremy Lin.
He loves him some Jets.
Yeah,
loves them.
Yeah, the Jets.
Jeremy Lin. Hey, I'm gonna send you a photo tomorrow about Jeremy Lin. So.
No,
good deal.
No, let us.
It is exciting, but to Jones, to your point, it's exciting, and you have the UFC female bantamweight champ residing in Colorado now too.
It's pretty. It's just cool. Obviously, we all like different teams. All of us do, but it's cool that we're all in Colorado and all these guys. Big things happening in Colorado, right? Colorado doesn't get a lot of love in the
Rockies. If you can get the Rockies to start winning,
that's another story.
It's going to be a while with the Dodgers in that division. I'm just letting you know it's going to be a while.
But cool stuff, fellas. Yeah, obviously, for the viewers and listeners out there, you can find us at the Bet Champ Show on Instagram, TikTok, and on X at Bet Champ Show. For X, we give out free plays every day. The fellas are riding. You don't want to miss this week. Some big games in the NFL. You want to get Wit, Big E, the Soch Man, and myself, our takes on what we're rocking with, especially with the player props. We were 5-0 last week in the NFL with player props. So, I mean, we're doing the research. We're tossing it out to you guys for free right now to the public. So get them while it's hot. And I'll leave it to you guys. Anything you guys want to say?
No.
Well, man, super excited to be, an honorary Coloradian out here in San Diego and just see what the sports world is banging out there. You know what I mean? Just lumping me in with that state with one team. Man, we're out here in beautiful, stunning state of California. We got plenty of teams out here. And he's like, or Zach's like, oh, he was out here for a long time though. I'm not from there. I got no ties there. I served in the military there, and he just made me like, hey.
I said you were out in San Diego, but you were here for some time.
I'm like Colorado's illegitimate son, man. I don't belong nowhere near there. But appreciate you lumping me in that, man.
Looking forward to you guys' show tomorrow morning. I've been tracking you, making some extra coins. So excited to see what you do. What time you guys on tomorrow morning?
6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Bright and early. So what he said. Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for Soch and ZJ's NBA player props. And then as well as with the Witster, Big E, you will always catch us Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for the After Hours edition. And we like to get together too on the Saturdays before the NFL game day. And that will be at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, guys. You can catch us there. And that's it for me if you guys don't have anything.
Nah, man.
Hey, just be safe, everybody. Cash those checks.
Cash checks. Salute.
Cheers.
We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.
Yes, sir.